Battle control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder. It's Dvoid here. I've got a 1v1 multiplayer game on Timian map. I'll put the production tab on. I'm using France for this game. My opponent's using England. So this is one of my allied practice games. You know, I stick to France while I'm practicing with allies because I can learn the basics with any allied faction, but I do like the fake structures that the French faction has. You can use them or not. You've got the same setup as any basic of the three allied factions when you first start, but France does have the fake structures as well, and it's a very useful ability. They're very cheap to place, and it's confusing. They can be very good, make it hard to target your power plants early in the game, because if your opponent sends a grenadier drop with an APC and 4 or 5 grenadiers, if they arrive and there are 7 power plants and you don't know which ones are fake because until you've taken a quarter of the health off, and you only normally get to destroy 1 or 2 power plants before the enemy's on you or placed a base defense or reacted somehow. So you don't get long, and if you spend that time attacking fakes, you're wasting your grenadier drop. So they are very good, the fake structures. I've sent that rifleman through the base, and he didn't get killed on his way through, so I sent him back, but he has been here. He's been found by the enemy and killed. So I sent the rest of my rifle group this way. I thought, well, it wasn't that hostile an environment for one rifleman. How will these guys do? But they bumped straight into 2 rifles here, so I thought, right, I'll send them in. But they were on move command themselves until they saw him. But I'm attacking a power plant. He's actually capturing his oil derrick. I've already got mine. I moved straight past it with my rifles. But here we go. I saw a base defense, so I had to back out straight away. But killing the power plant didn't put them in low power, even though he's placed a base defense as well. It's because he had 3, and he's still he only has 150 power demand. If you look at his production, yeah, he's going for a service depot, so it's an early expansion build he's going for. Very interesting. He's placing more base defences. Well, then it was worth it. Now he needs a power plant and he's at 0%, 0 cash, sorry. He has 200 power demands and he has 200 power, so yeah, he's building a power plant. He's got no choice. So here's his 3rd power plant, that's what he would have had. So he's still behind in his build order. There you go, I'm attacking here. I've got my light tank up front. And the enemy's left his engineer till the last moment. When you select your troops and tell them to fall back or attack or whatever, your engineers and technical units like that are not selected along with them. You have to individually select them and move them away. So, and that's why if you're in combat and you go to select all the units you can, and tell them to attack, that's so that you're not selecting engineers and things along with them. It's just how it's set. It's better that way. If you want to draw a box and have every single unit selected within that box, you hold down the control key and then let go. And instead of just selecting normal units with your box like this, if you hold control, you'll select all the units. Look, you see it works in this replay mode as well. Look, I can select all units, look, as normal with a box, but if I hold control, the engineer is also selected. So it works in this mode as well. If you just want to get all your units out of there, including an engineer, hold the control key as you make a square around your units, and it will select MCVs, ore trucks, engineers, all those kinds of units. You don't want to attack into the view range of an oil derrick like that. It's always better to go this way, and then round, or go round behind this way and down here. Don't attack into it. But he's also taking a very defensive expansion position. Very defensive. I've done it myself with that position where I felt that I'm under pressure and I placed it there, but that shouldn't be placed there. He hasn't got anything to defend it, nothing at all. I mean, there's these units here, but No. There's nothing defending that. So it should be back here, and it's too early anyway. But now he has invested in it, he needs to make use of the investment by building an artillery piece or two. He just has to now. Now he's actually committed, but I've spotted it with a scout look. So I know what the enemy's got, and I can also see there's nothing else there. If I give it time, he may build defences and things, so I need to make sure he doesn't get time. Hopefully I saw it, but it'll show up on my map, look, because my unit spotted it for me. But I didn't think he'd expanded this far because this rifleman is guarding it, but because he came this way, I didn't actually spot it. And because he hasn't placed a refinery there yet, there are no giveaway signs of... there he has now, you see, look. So now the ore will start disappearing and it will give away its presence. But because I left that too long, look, now it's a lot harder position to actually overrun now. He's got a turret, which is actually a good choice, because he can destroy my tanks nicely with a turret. They're good. And then the infantry are easy to stop. Look, I haven't even got any rockets with them, guys. There's a couple with this group, thankfully, but there's not enough rockets yet in my forces, and I'm attacking here, attacking his eco route. He's starting ore field, but I've seen what's going on. I've been attacked here by a strong force, so I've had to fall back. But this, I thought I'd ordered it away, and then I look back and nothing, it is still there. So I actually got caught out. Now these guys are attacking and doing nothing, they're just getting chewed up by a pillbox. And this, I could have got away, look, but I messed it up with some sort of shift command fumble, and there you go, it drove back into its death. So that was a bit of a mistake. Look, I typed whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know, it was a fumble. You saw when I selected it, you saw the shift command. It was ordered here and then this way for some strange reason. But I escaped. I sent it back to its death. And, you know, it's too late. It was sent to in danger through a fumble anyway. I thought I'd selected it and ordered it back to deploy here. And I hadn't. It obviously hadn't selected it. Or perhaps because of the way I was gripping the mouse, I was holding down the right mouse button or something like that, because I'm gripping the mouse too tightly as I'm frantically playing and clicking. Sometimes that's happened. I've noticed that I'm actually holding the right mouse button down, and when you issue commands it doesn't work, they don't work correctly. If you're holding the right mouse button, that's the cancel command. So at some point it obeys that command, when you release it or whatever, it obeys that command. So you don't want a cancel command in the middle of your orders, because that's what happens, things like that, where my second MCV just moves off to its death. But I should be producing a second one again. Dvoid, yes, here we are, mobile construction vehicle. Takes 30 seconds to build one, but the enemy artillery is making a defence, and he's got some defences, look, I like that. He's got 3 pillboxes, a turret, another pillbox, pillbox guarding his service depot. If he just had some more troops, he could have put these in front and then used the artillery. That's not bad. You know, it was quite a well-defended area. It's just he didn't have infantry in here. A little block of infantry would have made all the difference. Say a small block of, say, 40 men at half and half rockets, half rifles, you know, it would have chewed those tanks apart, and then there would have been a different matter. But I've got him. Look, there you go. And this force here is moving up, and I've expanded up to here. But that force is protecting it, and they are also going to move up. There you go. This force here it's still under artillery fire, look. Now it's moving in. You shouldn't do that, that's a shame. It's got a nice final shot in though, but the artillery should have positioned back here and continued to fire, because he's got view range on me. I'm in the middle of his base, look, that's what you can see. So he should have positioned his artillery here where I can't even see it. You know, you can even move it between shots. Every few shots, move it, and if I think there's 2 or more, then I'm going to probably get out of there. But as it was, it moved forward because it was on attack move. Right, I'm trying to push through here, but I don't want to destroy certain assets. There's my spies, there's 3, and I've disguised 2 as my rifles. My opponent's got nearly 6 grand. So I'm overrunning this, and there's my first spy. Yeah, there he goes. He's got over 2.5 grand there. But my opponent's still got over 3,000. And he's sold up. So I've got 2 spies left unused. He's sold his conyard. That's it. So yeah, there you go. There's the end of that one. I'll just go through the graphs and charts quickly. And when I lost my... There's another spy there ready to... Because he sold up, I was ready to head to one of these structures down here. But because spies can infiltrate different types of structures. But when I lost my MCV and it was on shift command and I fumbled it and it died and moved this way, I had loads of time to build a mechanic and repair it. I had loads of time and it didn't occur to me. So when I'm using allies, I'm not used to producing a mechanic to repair damaged units at certain times. I'm not prepared and I'm not used to doing that yet. That's something it just didn't occur to me. I didn't even notice the wreck, and when I watched the replay back, it was there for ages. You know, plenty of time. I was watching the infantry being trained, and there was plenty of time to train a mechanic and get it back. So I need to remember that and make sure that when the time comes, I've got barracks on the front line and I can produce a mechanic to get vehicles and ore trucks fixed, and MCVs when the chance arises. You don't want to lose your MCV. That's very bad, but it's not always the end of the matter now. When I'm using allies, that's not the end of the situation. I could possibly capture it back. That's why when I'm using Russians, I make sure I destroy the husks. There's an ore truck there. A mechanic can take that, and there's an ore truck husk there. You can repair that wreck and use it. So even as it is now, there's still vehicles that I could use with a mechanic and capture. So, but that particular MCV, that was a bad one. That should have, I should have been aware and more observant, and it should have told me, get a mechanic on it, and there was plenty of time. But there's the army graph, look, after the combat started. There was no real contest between the armies, at least. My opponent invested in tech early, and it didn't really make its mark and get employed. My finishing army, there's plenty of tanks and stuff, look. Combat chart, I killed 131 units, my opponent killed 145, so the artillery, I'm guessing, is what accounts for those kills. That's quite good. You know, he killed more units than I did. It's not bad at all. So, you know, something's working, but it wasn't as efficient as it could have been, because with more tanks for screening and things, he could have done a lot better and kept his artillery in action for longer. And like that moment where I showed you where the artillery should have retreated behind a pillbox about here, and my units are in the middle of his base, and I wouldn't have been able to see it from there. And I think he did back it off up this way, in this direction, when I attacked from here, but that's it. It was on attack move and moved close enough for me to fire back, just by normal attack move. I probably wasn't even aware of it, and it came close enough to be destroyed. There's the combat chart. There you go. It's not bad. I killed 48,000. My opponent killed 28,000. And I didn't lose any structures. Support powers, none in effect. Production, I'm still building. Pillbox, rocket soldier, medium tanks. I've got 7 ore trucks, 10 grand cash. My opponent's did well for cash though. There was plenty I took off him, and he's still built up 6 grand. That's quite good. He earned 55, I spent 85, but I earned 90. Right, here's the basic chart. Destroyed 48 to 28, lost 28 to 47. There's the scores, 535-262. And that's it. But I'm going to go to a second game rather than post it in a second post.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
So, welcome to game number 2. This is a 1v1 multiplayer game on Kosovo map. I am using Russia and my opponent's using Germany for this game. So we're in our oil capture phase, and I do my standard setup of 2 riflemen, one here, and I send my engineer here, and the rifleman protects him from enemy units approaching from this direction. That's what this rifleman's for. This guy's to see if the enemy make it there before my rifles can group together, and then that should be safe enough. But it gets common, and it's well known, anyone who watches my videos knows what I'm doing, so they should be able to exploit the fact that they know exactly what I'm doing. So I need to stop doing this and change it up and find a different way, a different order at least. Change it up at least every now and then, where I'm not repeating the same thing and showing everyone. But here we go, I've taken their oil derrick here. So, but it does work, though, you know? It seems to work, taking the oil derrick they first take. I take it straight from them, so now I've got 2 and they've got none. Because the time they spent taking that one, it now belongs to me. So it does seem to work, which is why I've stuck with it for so long. But now he's protecting the middle one. That's a wise idea, because he can secure this one and be at 2 each. And I've got my scout vehicle. He's got his. He's got a ranger, and he's just starting to capture the oil derrick down in the bottom corner. But we'll look at see what my opponent saw. This is his view range, and I didn't want to attack from the front because he's got that advantage. I wanted to attack from the back, but he didn't see me coming. Look, you see I'm here, and he didn't know. That's quite nice, that look. He didn't know I was there until this moment when I chose to reveal it, but you know, we'll see what happens. There's my engineer, look, but he's only got 3 rockets. My APC just couldn't escape, and then he used his view range on it for this. So I'm stood in position. He's not getting the benefit of the oil derrick's view range, at least. Can I kill that? Oh, it's so close, look. Oh, that was close. I wanted to get that. That's why I attack moved them backwards, just in the hopes of taking that out. And it did have an engineer inside, so it would have been a lovely kill to get that. My engineer escaped, luckily, and the ranger nearly caught him by luck, pure luck. Nearly caught him. Looks like he's going to retake this one, yeah. So we're at 3 oil derricks to my opponent, 1 to me now. I've got a 7,000 army, he's got a 6,000. Now it's 7 to me. 9,000 to 10,000 to 8,000. 10,000 to 9. 10,000 each. Our army values are both growing. And here we are, we're about to meet in the middle by the looks of it. I've got a 12,000 value army, so has my opponent. And his pillbox has revealed that he's set up in the centre. Now he's going to check, see where I've expanded to. He's still got his engineer inside that. And I've expanded here, and I thought, right, well, if he's in the centre, I'm going to go here. I don't usually go to this point so early, but I thought, right, well, at least I'll drop in a refinery, drop one in here, at least just get some extra credits, and then put some defences down, yeah, but get it back out of there. And I think I'm hopefully going to set it up here so this construction yard can then move down this way. But he's checking my defences. Let's see, yeah. Yeah, and he's setting up, he's got a line, basically. I'm setting up more in a cluster. And a line is better. I'll remember in future to set up my force. I'm moving forward in a line, kind of. He's set his up, look, like that. So his front line, and he's got buildings in front of his units. I have, but, you know, you need to have more. And he's deploying them in a better formation. There you go, his pillboxes are creeping. And pillboxes have a better range than flame towers, look. You see, his pillbox could probably hit that if it wasn't on guard mode, but my flame tower couldn't reach him. And here we go, my rifle guard has revealed that the enemy's here, because he's just killed a rifle guard there. So I'm thinking, right, alright, he's moving out. So I need to I've sent this, and I've got build radius here, look. And I've moved my ore truck away from here, so I'm saving it. This is telling me where the enemy are and the timing. So I've escorted my MCV there and set up an expansion. Now I just wish I'd attacked here instead. That would have been a good idea. But I was being pressured. I knew he was in the centre. I just didn't want to be overrun all of a sudden. But I'm at 23,000. My opponent's at 27. Yeah, I haven't got 7 barracks, sadly, but here we go, look. I've got these forces and I need to stop the attack move. And I haven't got build radius, you know, it's over here, look, there. So that's why I placed a defence there. It caught me at the moment I didn't have build radius, but I've stabilised it briefly, get these tanks up from. But I thought, no, if I'm fighting outside build radius, I need to, before they're all dead, fall back a bit and then make a better stand of it. But he's bringing up enough tanks, look. And then I'm going to lose another barracks, because you need 7. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7 there, so when I lose that, my infantry aren't building as quickly now, because when you've got 7, that's full speed. And any less, I'm not building them as quickly as he is, because I guarantee he'll have 7. There's 4, 5, 6, there's, you see he's got 8. And you can place more and use them for view range and extra production positioning, so you can produce infantry closer to the enemy and things like that, and if you lose them you've still got more than 7. But they're useful for view range barracks, keep placing them in front of your men. Now you see here I could do that, I could place barracks and base defences and creep them this way, look, at least a little bit. But I can see he's attacking here, look, so I'm trying to... I've got my MCV falling back. He's going for my service depot, so no more tank production. But now I've got my radar dome, I want thieves. And I thought, look, I'm in trouble. Obviously, I'm in big trouble, and I've got very little time. But now... and I'm in low power. But there's an engineer, look. And I'm capturing his ore refinery, so it can't sell it now. And I've got plenty of cash. And there we go, there's an infiltration. There's 1,000 summits. Look like quite a nice amount. And I'm still capturing, so he can't sell it. But I've destroyed most of his units here, but it's holding his cash supply. There you go, there's another infiltration. So he's down to about 500 now. And keep resetting the capture bar when I get a chance, but look, he's overrun everything, so I'm doing this too late, sadly, but he's got no money. I've got control of his money supply, no doubts about that, but, you know, it's just, that's it now. He's pushed me back, stopped me, my MCVs are running, both of them, look, and I've took control of his cash. I've got plenty, but that's it, it's over. Sadly, I should have done this a bit earlier, but I got control of his money supply too late. You know, if I'd have been playing more effectively, I would have overrun this position with the small force that ended up going back this way and attacking with my main force and losing that first engagement. If I'd have sent that small force that was here to overrun his position, then that wouldn't have been there to take control of his money anyway. But as it was a nice bit of practice for the chokehold tactic, keeping hold of the enemy money supply, because when I've used it in the past, I've actually been in a bad situation, and I've had the enemy with a 30,000 value army and destroying my main base, and I'm letting them to buy time, and I actually won that game. And I actually, by the time that 30,000 value army reached me, I'd whittled it down enough and built up enough and taken control of his money supply to win the game. And this guy didn't have a 30,000 value army. He has now, but at that point it was about 25 when he overran me there, and I had control of his money supply. It was about 25,000 value army. So, you know, I've come back from very similar situations, but this guy was too good for that, and he also took back control, and I didn't want to capture this anyway. I wanted to use it, I wanted it to stay belonging to him so I could take the money. But there you go, look at they swarming everywhere. My ore trucks are trying to draw his attention to different locations. My MCVs are running away. He's got the other one, that's it. What more can I do? That's about that, to be fair. But I've still got an oil derrick. So I am still earning. But he's caught me, look. He's not letting that get away. Too many. Done for, look. There you go. So I'll look at the army graph for you. Ah, look at that. That was a close battle until the actual main engagement. The first one started, and then I just got slaughtered down to about 7,000 value army. And I did increase back up to about a 14,000 value army, but his was way ahead, look. So, yeah, it was difficult. But it was nice to take control of his money supply at the end, because I earned a bit of cash out of that. Look at the earning supplies. Yeah. And then a massive drop in earnings when he's obviously, that's the final minutes of me being overrun, where I was losing refineries here, here, here. That, you know, that's why my earnings have dropped off. And my opponent's finishing army is, yeah, he's got 14 medium tanks and a large army. So there you go. Look at the combat chart. 122 kills to me, 212 to my opponent. So he did very well. I lost 38 buildings and he lost 7. That's not good. He's destroyed 80,000. I destroyed 31, so I got a real bad beating. I got savaged in that game, sadly. No support powers. Production, still building away. Economy tab, I earned 87,000, my opponent earned 110,000. Yeah, not too bad for earnings. Basics, my actions per minute were 32.9, my opponents were 34.3, so close in command speed. Not in command efficiency, perhaps. So there you go. Perhaps I just wasn't quite as good. I was issuing orders at the same speed, but just they weren't having the same effect, is what I mean, quite obviously. But there's all the graphs and charts and stats. I hope you enjoyed both games, and as usual, if you liked what you see, give us a sub and a like, and there should be more quality games to come soon. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and for now, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.